any other citizens to be heard? There being none, do I hear a motion on the consent calendar?
I'd like to remove items D and G.
All right.
I'd move approval of the rest.
Second.
Without exception, that motion is passed. Item D, resolution authorizing the executive director to enter into a personal service agreement with Associated Right-of-Way Services for properties on San Pablo Avenue and 36th Street. What was your question?
Yeah, thank you. Just before I bring that up, for the people and the family we had here honoring you all this evening, this all gets pretty boring. You're certainly welcome to stay, but don't feel bad about leaving, because we put people to sleep every night here, inside and outside the chambers. Yeah, Patrick, I'm sure you're figuring out what my concern is. Everything that we had been doing to get this program, this jobs housing linkage program into play was initially discussed with Allied Housing, and I'm not sure what's happened to them along the way to the point where Associated Right-of-Way is in the picture. Maybe I don't understand what's happening.
It's still the assumption that we would use Allied Housing as the developer. I have some concerns about their track record, and so I may be talking to you in the near future about the possibility of assisting them with some additional expertise. But that's a different issue than what this contract is about.
Could you explain that? Because I'm not sure I really fully appreciate that.
The purpose of this contract is to value the properties that we're looking at acquiring in order to do that jobs housing linkage, and there are some relocations within the properties that would be necessary, and so these services that are the subject of this contract is for the appraisal, the relocation study, and then if we feel that we still have, after we have the information from those two studies, if we still have a feasible project, then it would continue on into the acquisition and relocation activities. Those are all things that a developer, which Allied Housing would be in this case, doesn't typically do. The agency does.
Thank you. I totally misread this memorandum, and I apologize. And I would move approval of item D.
Second. Without exception, the motion is passed. Item G.
Yeah, G is just on. Is that who's handling this item for us?
I am.
Yeah. This is really just a concern I had on the memorandum itself. On the second page, I know there are terms of art that are used, but in the second line under the total there, when we get into it, it talks about other administrative categories in compensation for the handling of activities unrelated to loan closing, such as payoffs, subordinations, capital improvement. I understand what payoffs mean, but people are very concerned about another connotation of that word, and I'm wondering if that might just be changed in the future to say something else besides payoffs. Sure. Make it sound like yeah. I mean, let's differentiate between bribes and